Oh dear. Okay, Myrwn going to move in. There is that counter-strike that we were talking about, and already SkewMond's dead, first blood!
Thanks from SkewMond in the early stages, you will have a very big advantage when it comes towards just raw DPS. SkewMond though tends to be more of a, hey, I'm going to try and farm it up and get to a position where post level 6 I can make things happen as Myrwn.
The flash forward, Hansama's here though. Myrwn picks up turret aggro. Oh no, the Slurkle is his demise. That's the most value out of that ability I have ever seen.
Mid.
Yeah, Elyoya able to get himself over there. The flash pulverize comes in. Phenomenal shove comes down as well as Caps gives himself away by distorting. Still gonna have to try and do some funny business to escape Elyoya, but he finds an Nimbus Strike and down goes Caps. A second kill for MKOI on the table now. He's out of turret on the top side. Dreaded Volley comes in. We'll see where the Caps can land the chains. Does connect them here as SkewMond's making his way in as Elyoya biding his time. Finds the Cyclone here onto the LeBlanc. Another shove from Jojo. This guy! About 1 minute into the game was in fact when that happened. Magical Journey delivers Labrov. Finds a Tempered Fate here onto the cow. Weaver's Wall comes in though and is going to block 2 of them off, and now it's Alvaro going down to start this one off. Hansama in a little bit of trouble. Flashes out of the way of the seismic shove and eliminates Elyoya as well. That is such a huge shutdown going over to the main carry of G2.
Oh, man. And stops it all.
Real rough there as well. It was so close for Jojo to try and get that kill onto Hansama, but he survives. And there is a solo kill for BrokenBlade in the top lane. Yeah, I'm well and truly into that one. I have to just use the connected one. Okay, now Jojo could be in a little bit of trouble. Tempered Fate comes down, and Hansama waiting to try and get the damage in, but Alvaro, he's waiting as well. Another shove is going to connect, but Hans is so scary, has the barrier, uses it so well to take down Jojo. Now Alvaro, he does have Elyoya coming in. Finally, the Nimbus Strike is going to come on down. Not enough from the Cosmic Binding there, and down will go this Yunara. The entirety of the minion wave is now Jojo in trouble once again, and Caps is going to pop back in, gets himself the redemption heal as well, and it's another trip home in Jojo's future. Meanwhile, I mean, they just don't stop fighting. Let's have a look at this one in the river as well, as Alvaro able to keep Hansama busy for a while, but even through the Unbreakable Will, he's going to break him. SkewMond takes down the cow.
So you kind of have to make a play on towards Hansama, but Labrov is just sitting as his own little ward to make sure you can't.
Mimic Distortion comes down as Caps is going to be able to chain up this Taliyah. Seismic Shove goes wide, and Jojo is just going to get exploded. Labrov comes in with a Meep Slap, and that one's real dangerous as Alvaro escapes out of the Tempered Fate, but unfortunately now he's in the hands of Hansama, who will find that Arc of Ruin, and Caps steals away the kill. Finally on the board here for the mid laner of G2. Try and push this Jax away. Doesn't have a whole lot of the blue stuff here as well, as BrokenBlade looking real aggressive. There's a Leap Strike flash out there from Myrwn, but the flash to follow from BrokenBlade, and he's not able to get over that wall. Blast Cone for the disengagement. Caps is going to find him. The double distortion is enough, but Elyoya is going to be there. Caps needs a big amount of funny business, but unfortunately, you can't outplay that.
Myrwn spotted a ward on this bottom side, which is why G2 now starting to play a little bit more aggressive, but they do have to be worried about the flank.
Yeah, Slurkle not going to do too much here. Is Jojo going to get chained up? Caps just immediately out of there, and man, he is being frustrating here to MKOI as the wall comes on through. Labrov not able to get on over, doesn't have the Magical Journey either, is now BrokenBlade in amongst 4 people, but he kind of likes it from what I can see here, as it's pretty difficult to get very much damage to stick, and Labrov getting himself into position. Hansama now free hitting. Hasn't pressed that R button just yet. Holding on to that one for when this fight really starts. And it hasn't quite erupted just yet.
MKOI looks scared. They don't want to take the fight. And it means you're just getting the poke from G2.
Yeah, Myrwn in so much trouble. Gets the 3rd Q. And BrokenBlade is able to help put him in the ground. So Myrwn not going to be here for this fight. That should be soul point going over to G2. MKOI are going to back away. I mean, it's what they have to do. But man, giving this up is just a disaster.
MKOI just didn't want to take the fight, and it gave Caps so much time to get the poke they wanted as Elyoya now.
They get the Cyclone out as well, as BrokenBlade just goes in, all out, comes on forward. Alvaro now with the Unbreakable Will, but it's looking a bit more breakable than you'd otherwise expect based on the name, as Hansama might be able to get a big chunk onto this inner turret as well. As Labrov is going to have to ult himself, but that buys time for Hansama to dash on over. Was it all a bait? The answer is maybe. But eyes only for Supa here as he pushes him towards the blast plant. And I don't... Myrwn? What are we... Myrwn? Are we okay? Okay, well, the Baron is going to do most of the work, killing Myrwn there as he was looking for a flank angle, but unfortunately MKOI, they had different ideas, and now the Baron is going to get started. Caps walks straight into a large line of rocks though, and the ace in the hole comes on in. Jojo finds the threaded volley, and down goes Caps. MKOI not out of this one yet as Supa is now walking towards BB. He gets knocked up by the Cyclone. Another shove there from Jojo's Magical Journey. Gets him to relative safety. SkewMond goes in just to be the hero, and he fights it! Hansama takes down Jojo, and I don't know how it worked, but absolutely it worked here for G2. SkewMond continuing his onslaught, and Hansama is just clicking on these heads. It's a triple for the Yunara.
I like how you are looking at the hat while he has a gun in one hand and a... I don't know what that other thing is.
Oh dear. Well, Myrwn is dead. Caps is going to chain him up, and BrokenBlade going to help set him down there as Weaver's Wall comes on in. They want to try and block them off here, and BrokenBlade might be the target, but the Tempered Fate is going to lock down the turret and 2 members of MKOI. So the wall does absolutely nothing. Labrov is just making them look silly right now as the third Q connects, and the cow is just going to be stake here for G2's enjoyment. Hansama is unstoppable now as they will take down yet another inhibitor. And it's feeling pretty similar to a lot of the other matchups between these two squads in the LEC as G2 are looking to play with their food a little bit here. Cyclone doing a fair bit of work, but Elyoya is on his fountain with not much more hope other than to try and stay alive and watch his Nexus fall as G2 are on the board here at Worlds.